Have you noticed something strange as you get older? At 20, your phone never stopped buzzing. At 30, it's quiet.
You ever look around and just wonder where everyone went? You know how that big, bustling social life you had in your 20s has kind of quieted down to just a handful of really close friends? It's a feeling a lot of us have, for sure. But what if I told you it's not the loss you think it is? What if it's actually a win? Let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about Jake. At 22, his life was just a whirlwind. I mean, parties every weekend, group chats blowing up his phone 24/7, a calendar so packed he could barely keep up. Now, fast forward to 35, the whole picture has changed. His world is way smaller, centered around maybe 3 really close friends. The loud parties, they've been swapped for quiet nights with conversations that actually mean something. It's a huge shift. And yeah, at first, he told himself it felt, well, a lot like being lonely. And this brings up a really important question, not just for Jake, but for you, for me, for all of us. Are you actually losing friends, or is it something else entirely? Could it be that you're just outgrowing the noise? That's the idea we're going to unpack right now.
To really get what's going on, we got to move past the feeling and look at the facts. Turns out there's some actual science behind why our social circles seem to shrink as we get older.
So what's up with this number? 5. According to some pretty fascinating research out of the University of Oxford, our brains, they're basically wired to handle only about 5 truly close, intimate relationships at one time. Not 50, not even 15, just 5. Kind of wild, right? So why that specific number? Well, it really just comes down to practicality. As we get older, time becomes this incredibly precious thing we just don't have enough of. Same goes for our emotional energy. It's not an infinite resource, so we start investing it where it really counts. And let's be real, life just gets heavier, doesn't it? With more responsibilities, our brains kind of go into triage mode and start prioritizing deep connections over having a huge number of them.
But this isn't just about our brains hitting some kind of biological limit. There's a really powerful psychological shift that happens too. We stop, collecting contacts and start curating connections.
There's actually a name for it. Psychologist Laura Carstensen over at Stanford calls it Socioemotional selectivity theory. I know, it sounds super academic, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It basically says that as we get older and our sense of time changes, what motivates us changes too. We stop chasing every new thing and start focusing on what feels emotionally meaningful. Let's break that down, because this is the key. When you're young, time feels endless, right? So your goal is to soak up new experiences, meet tons of new people. It's all about expansion. But as you get older, you become way more aware that your time is finite. And that's the switch. You naturally start looking for depth and meaning in the relationships you already have. And this is how it actually plays out in real life. Your mind, almost without you realizing it, starts using this new filter. You stop asking who's fun to hang out with, and you start asking deeper questions. Who gets me? Like really gets me? Who's going to be there when things get tough? And maybe the biggest one of all, who drains my energy versus who gives me peace? It's like this quiet, internal audit of your social life. Okay, so we've covered the science and the psychology. Now let's get to the good part, the payoff. Because this whole process of being more selective, it's not a negative thing. Far from it. Having a smaller, more intentional circle of friends has some pretty amazing benefits for your well-being. And the data totally backs this up. Study after study shows that people with fewer but deeper friendships consistently report lower stress and just plain better mental health. It makes sense, right? With these close friends, you don't have to perform. You don't have to constantly explain yourself. There's just this incredible peace that comes from being truly seen and accepted for who you are.
I just love this quote. It really nails the whole idea, doesn't it? It's a trade-off. Your circle gets smaller, but your peace gets bigger. You might have fewer invitations, but your inner calm and your emotional stability, they grow like crazy.
So I think it's time we completely change how we talk about this. A shrinking social circle isn't some kind of social failure. It's actually a sign of emotional growth. It's a sign of intelligence. So if you've been feeling this, if you felt your world getting smaller, I really want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you.
And you are definitely not failing. Life is not a contest to see who can rack up the most friends on social media. You're playing a different game now, a better one.
You are growing. You're evolving. You're learning to guard your energy and invest it in people and things that truly, deeply matter. That, right there, is maturity. And that brings us right back to our friend Jake. He's sitting there with his two best friends, and he has this crystal clear moment of realization. He doesn't miss the crowds. He doesn't miss the chaos. What he really used to crave was that feeling of being understood, and he realizes, with his small, selective circle, he has more of that now than he ever did before. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Take a second. Be honest with yourself. How many people are in your real inner circle? You know, the ones who bring you peace, not noise. The answer might just tell you everything you need to know about how much you've grown.